Have you ever wondered if ancient prophecies could still hold the key to understanding our future? Among the most remarkable and mysterious prophecies in history are those found in the book of Daniel. Written during a time of exile and great uncertainty, these visions reveal a sweeping panorama of world empires, divine interventions, and the ultimate establishment of God's eternal kingdom. But what makes them even more extraordinary is their precision and relevance to the world we live in today. Prophecy 1. Nebuchadnezzar's statue. The story of Nebuchadnezzar's statue begins with a dream that left the king of Babylon deeply troubled. In Daniel 2, Nebuchadnezzar demanded an interpretation of his mysterious vision, threatening the wise men of his court with death if they failed to provide an explanation. It was only Daniel, a young captive from Judah, who, through divine revelation, was able to unveil the meaning of this extraordinary dream. The dream featured a massive, dazzling statue with a head of gold, a chest and arms of silver, a belly and thighs of bronze, legs of iron, and feet made of iron mixed with clay. This towering image wasn't just a random collection of materials, it represented a prophetic timeline of world empires, each succeeding the other in power and influence. Daniel explained that the statue symbolized the rise and fall of kingdoms, culminating in the ultimate establishment of God's eternal rule. The head of gold, Daniel revealed, represented Nebuchadnezzar's Babylonian empire, known for its wealth, splendor, and dominance. However, Daniel warned that this empire, despite its greatness, would not last forever. It would be succeeded by another kingdom, symbolized by the chest and arms of silver. This was the Medo-Persian Empire, a dual monarchy characterized by strength and unity. The third kingdom, represented by the bronze belly and thighs, referred to the Greek Empire, led by figures like Alexander the Great. Its vast conquests and cultural influence left an indelible mark on the ancient world. Following Greece came the legs of iron, symbolizing the Roman Empire, known for its unmatched military power and enduring influence. Finally, the feet of iron mixed with clay represented a divided kingdom, strong in some areas, weak in others. This imagery pointed to the fragmented nature of modern European nations that followed Rome's decline, unable to achieve complete unity despite their connections. The materials of the feet symbolize the fragility of human alliances, destined to fail without divine intervention. But the most striking part of Nebuchadnezzar's dream was yet to come. A rock, not cut by human hands, struck the statue, shattering it into pieces that were carried away by the wind. This rock grew into a mountain that filled the whole earth, representing the eternal kingdom of God that would replace all earthly powers. Unlike the empires before it, this kingdom would never be destroyed or succeeded. The prophecy of Nebuchadnezzar's statue is a profound reminder of God's sovereignty over history. It demonstrates how human kingdoms, no matter how mighty, are temporary, while God's kingdom is eternal. The precise accuracy of this vision, predicting the rise and fall of empires, serves as a testament to the divine origin of Daniel's prophecies. Prophecy 2. The four beasts of Daniel. In Daniel 7, the prophet receives a vision that expands on Nebuchadnezzar's statue, adding vivid and symbolic imagery to the prophetic timeline of human empires. This vision introduces four great beasts emerging from a chaotic sea, each representing a kingdom that rises and falls in the march of history. Unlike the statue's metallic composition, the beasts embody the ferocity, ambition, and destructive power of these empires. The first beast is a lion with eagle's wings, symbolizing the Babylonian Empire. Known for its grandeur and dominance, Babylon ruled with a mix of power and sophistication. The wings being torn off and the lion standing on 2 feet like a man represent Nebuchadnezzar's humbling transformation after his prideful reign, highlighting the sovereignty of God over even the mightiest rulers. The second beast, a bear raised up on one side with 3 ribs in its mouth, symbolizes the Medo-Persian Empire. The bear's uneven posture reflects the dominance of Persia over Media, while the 3 ribs may signify the major conquests of Lydia, Babylon, and Egypt. This beast epitomizes the strength and aggression of this dual kingdom. The third beast is a leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads, representing the Greek Empire under Alexander the Great. The wings denote the incredible speed of Alexander's conquests, as he established one of the largest empires in history in just over a decade. The 4 heads signify the division of his empire among his generals after his untimely death, a fragmentation that diluted its power. The fourth beast, unlike any creature known to man, is described as terrifying, powerful, and iron-toothed. It devours, crushes, and tramples everything in its path, symbolizing the Roman Empire. Its unmatched military strength and ability to dominate vast territories make it the most fearsome of the beasts. The 10 horns of this beast hint at later developments, symbolizing divisions or future extensions of this empire. Out of these 10 horns emerges a smaller horn, often interpreted as a ruler or power that challenges divine authority. This horn speaks arrogantly and wages war against the saints, representing the rise of forces opposed to God's kingdom. This aspect of the vision shifts the focus from historical events to eschatological themes, emphasizing the ongoing spiritual battle between good and evil. The vision of the 4 beasts is significant not only for its historical accuracy, but also for its deeper spiritual meaning. It illustrates the transient nature of human power and the inevitability of divine judgment. These empires, despite their might, ultimately crumble under the weight of their pride and rebellion against God. The imagery of the beasts also reminds us of the dual nature of power. It can be used for good or for domination and destruction. The vision challenges believers to reflect on their own lives and allegiances, urging them to align with the eternal kingdom that will ultimately triumph. Prophecy 3. The Rise and Fall of Kingdoms. The visions of Daniel not only detail the characteristics of individual empires, but also illuminate the broader patterns of rise and fall that define human history. Each kingdom portrayed in Daniel's prophecies, whether symbolized by the statue or the beasts, follows a predictable trajectory: the accumulation of power, the height of dominance, and the inevitable collapse. This prophetic insight demonstrates the futility of earthly power and the sovereign hand of God guiding history. Babylon, the head of gold, and the lion with eagle's wings, is a prime example of human splendor and pride. Under Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon was the pinnacle of wealth, architecture, and cultural influence. However, its fall was swift and absolute, as foretold by Daniel. The Medo-Persian Empire, which succeeded Babylon, exemplifies the idea that no kingdom is immune to being overtaken. Despite its strength and organization, it too succumbed to the relentless march of history. The Greek Empire under Alexander the Great marked a new chapter in the rise and fall of kingdoms. Alexander's unprecedented conquests created a vast empire that spread Greek culture and philosophy across 3 continents. Yet his untimely death led to the fragmentation of his empire into 4 weaker kingdoms, symbolized by the leopard's 4 heads. This division weakened Greece's hold on power, paving the way for the rise of Rome. Rome, symbolized by the iron legs and the fearsome beast, represents the height of military might and governance. Its influence stretched across the known world, shaping law, language, and infrastructure. However, even Rome was not immune to division and decline. The split into the Western and Eastern Roman empires, followed by the eventual collapse of the Western Empire, fulfilled the prophetic imagery of the feet of iron mixed with clay. The mixture of iron and clay symbolizes the fragmented state of Europe and the inability of these nations to achieve lasting unity. Despite attempts through wars, alliances, and political unions, the prophecy highlights the inherent instability of human alliances. The vision serves as a sobering reminder that human efforts to establish eternal dominion are destined to fail without God. What sets these prophecies apart is their precision and their ability to capture the spiritual implications of worldly power. The kingdoms of Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome each played critical roles in shaping history, yet none of them could endure. They were all ultimately swept away by the passage of time, making way for God's eternal kingdom. This pattern of rise and fall invites reflection on the nature of power and ambition. It challenges us to question where we place our trust, in the fleeting empires of man or the unshakable kingdom of God. The prophecy reveals that no matter how mighty a nation may appear, it is God who holds the ultimate authority over history. Prophecy 4. The Eternal Rock and God's Kingdom. Amidst the rise and fall of earthly kingdoms, Daniel's vision reveals an unshakable truth. Human empires are fleeting, but God's kingdom is eternal. This profound message is symbolized by the rock not cut by human hands, which strikes the feet of Nebuchadnezzar's statue, shattering it into pieces. The rock grows into a massive mountain that fills the entire earth, representing the establishment of a divine kingdom that will never be destroyed. The imagery of the rock is significant. Unlike the materials of the statue, gold, silver, bronze, iron, and clay, the rock is not crafted by human hands. This signifies that God's kingdom is not the result of human effort, ambition, or power. It is a supernatural intervention, one that transcends the limitations and imperfections of earthly rule. When the rock destroys the statue, it doesn't just topple the kingdoms, it obliterates them, reducing them to chaff that the wind carries away. This complete destruction illustrates the finality of God's judgment on human pride and rebellion. The rock's growth into a mountain symbolizes the universality and permanence of God's rule, a stark contrast to the temporary reigns of worldly empires. This prophecy is often interpreted as a foretelling of the coming of Jesus Christ and the establishment of his kingdom. Christ, the cornerstone rejected by men, becomes the foundation of an eternal kingdom that invites all people into its fold. The kingdom of God is not marked by geographical boundaries or political systems, but by righteousness, peace, and the transformative power of God's presence in the lives of his people. The vision of the eternal rock also underscores the sovereignty of God over history. While human empires rise and fall, often causing chaos and suffering, God's plan remains steadfast. The prophecy assures believers that no matter how tumultuous the world may seem, God is in control, working toward the fulfillment of his promises. For modern readers, the rock serves as a reminder of where true security lies. In a world filled with instability, conflict, and fleeting powers, the kingdom of God offers an unchanging foundation. It invites us to align our lives with something eternal, to place our trust not in the transient structures of man, but in the unshakable rule of the Creator. The eternal rock is not just a symbol of destruction, but one of hope and restoration. It marks the end of human striving for power and the beginning of a reign characterized by justice, love, and peace. It is the ultimate answer to the brokenness of human history, a promise that God's kingdom will endure forever. Prophecy 5. Discoveries that validate Daniel's prophecies. The prophecies in the book of Daniel are not merely fascinating stories, they are deeply rooted in history, Over the centuries, archaeological discoveries and historical records have consistently confirmed the accuracy and reliability of Daniel's visions, providing compelling evidence that his words were divinely inspired. These validations serve as a bridge between faith and history, offering tangible proof of God's hand in human events. One of the most remarkable validations comes from ancient Babylon itself. Archaeologists have uncovered bricks bearing the name of Nebuchadnezzar, as well as inscriptions praising his reign and the grandeur of his kingdom. These findings corroborate the biblical depiction of Babylon as the head of gold, the first great empire in Daniel's vision. The city's immense wealth and power, as described in the Bible, are mirrored in the ruins and artifacts unearthed by historians. The Medo-Persian Empire, represented by the chest and arms of silver, is another example of prophetic accuracy. Historical records, including the Cyrus cylinder, confirm the dual nature of this kingdom, with Persia ultimately dominating over Media. The cylinder also highlights the policies of King Cyrus, who allowed exiled peoples, including the Jews, to return to their homelands, a significant moment in biblical history. Moving to the Greek Empire, the detailed prophecy of Alexander the Great's rise and the subsequent division of his kingdom is astonishing in its precision. Daniel's vision of the leopard with four heads accurately foretells the fragmentation of Alexander's empire among his four generals, Cassander, Lysimachus, Seleucus, and Ptolemy. Historical accounts of Alexander's swift conquests and the ensuing division align perfectly with the prophecy, leaving no doubt about its authenticity. The Roman Empire, symbolized by the legs of iron, is perhaps the most documented of the empires in Daniel's prophecy. Its unparalleled strength and influence are well established in history, from its extensive road systems to its legal frameworks. Even the eventual division of Rome into eastern and western halves and the fragmentation represented by the feet of iron mixed with clay are supported by historical and archaeological evidence. Beyond these empires, discoveries continue to validate the prophetic timeline. The Dead Sea Scrolls, for instance, include fragments of the Book of Daniel that date back centuries, confirming its authenticity and preserving its content remarkably accurately. These ancient manuscripts underscore the enduring relevance of Daniel's visions and their profound impact on both faith and scholarship. The validation of Daniel's prophecies through historical and archaeological discoveries does more than confirm their accuracy. It strengthens the connection between the divine and the tangible. It shows that the God who orchestrated history is the same God who invites us to trust in his eternal plan. For believers, these discoveries are a reminder that faith is not blind, but grounded in truth. For skeptics, they are an invitation to explore the evidence and consider the possibility of divine revelation. Prophecy 6. Are we living in the final prophecy? As we examine the prophetic timeline outlined in Daniel, one compelling question arises: are we witnessing the fulfillment of the final prophecy today? The imagery of the statue's feet, made of iron mixed with clay, offers a striking depiction of a divided and fragile world, a world not unlike our own. This prophecy speaks not just of ancient empires, but of the enduring instability of human power structures, pointing to a future where God's eternal kingdom will prevail. The feet of iron and clay represent a fractured kingdom, strong in some parts, yet weak and vulnerable in others. This imagery resonates with the geopolitical landscape of the modern world. Nations strive for unity through alliances, trade agreements, and global institutions. Yet these efforts often fall short, plagued by cultural differences, competing interests, and inherent fragility. The inability to achieve true unity mirrors Daniel's vision, suggesting that humanity's attempts to build enduring structures apart from God are destined to fail. One of the most compelling aspects of this prophecy is its focus on the inevitability of divine intervention. The rock not cut by human hands shatters the statue, replacing the kingdoms of man with an eternal kingdom. This divine act signifies that no matter how advanced or powerful human civilizations become, they cannot replace the sovereignty of God. Current events further fuel speculation about whether we are living in the final stages of this prophetic timeline. Economic instability, political upheaval, and moral decline dominate headlines, echoing the themes of division and fragility described in Daniel's vision. Advances in technology and global connectivity have brought both progress and new challenges, creating a world that feels simultaneously unified and divided, a perfect parallel to the prophecy's depiction of iron mixed with clay. Beyond geopolitical dynamics, the spiritual state of humanity also points to the relevance of Daniel's final prophecy. The rise of secularism, moral relativism, and spiritual apathy has created a world increasingly distant from God's principles. Yet, amidst this darkness, there is a growing hunger for truth and hope, a reminder that God's eternal kingdom is the ultimate answer to humanity's deepest needs. For believers, the message of this prophecy is clear. Stay vigilant, remain faithful, and align your life with God's eternal kingdom. While the timing of these events remains uncertain, the call to readiness is universal. The prophecy is not meant to instill fear, but to inspire trust in God's sovereignty and the certainty of His promises. The final prophecy challenges us to look beyond the chaos of the present and fix our eyes on the eternal. It invites us to consider the fleeting nature of earthly power and the unshakable foundation of God's kingdom. As we stand at the crossroads of history, Daniel's vision reminds us that the end of human striving marks the beginning of divine restoration. The prophecies of Daniel are more than ancient visions. They are a roadmap through history, revealing the rise and fall of empires and the ultimate triumph of God's eternal kingdom. From Nebuchadnezzar's statue to the eternal rock that shatters all human power, these prophecies remind us of God's sovereignty over time and His plan for the future. As we reflect on these profound truths, one question remains: are you prepared for what's to come? The prophecies not only reveal the fragility of human ambition, but also extend an invitation to align our lives with the unshakable foundation of God's kingdom. If this video has given you a deeper understanding of Daniel's visions and their relevance today, don't stop here. Subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so you won't miss any future explorations of biblical mysteries. Share this message with friends and family who are seeking clarity and hope. For those longing to grow closer to God in these uncertain times, I encourage you to check out our ebook, 30 Habits to Draw Closer to God, available in the pinned comment below. It's a powerful guide to deepen your faith and prepare your heart for what lies ahead. Thank you for watching, and may the lessons of Daniel's prophecies inspire you to live with faith, purpose, and an unwavering trust in God's promises.